It is starting, ladies and gentlemen. Trackmania Grandleague. Trackmania Grandleague. Step number 4. We are live with a map, with the infamous map Up and Down. Maybe you've seen this track. This was the last track of the previous step. We've seen a lot of point losses, and right now players will play this track at first. So they will warm up, and of course there is this infamous identity here that you can see here. That's a really good overview. That players have to pass 6 times because we have 6 laps that will be played on this, quote-unquote beautiful track. And hopefully no one is getting a bug this time. Spam is jumping super high because maybe he's scared of getting a bug again. That was really, really sad for him in the last step. That's why he lost all his points. So let's go a bit further back here. Let's see what Revolution is doing. Who's just behind Papu. Also Pack, who's also playing today. So everyone made it today. So no one who's not here. So that's good. Yeah. So good transition here by Pack. We have some really, really difficult section here. And of course there's this identity which players are approaching here. Pretty good. Revolution failed it though, but it's only the warm-up, so that's not good. And Pack also with a very wonky transition here. So I'm curious to see who's gonna take this map when last time it was called Junior, who was in first just ahead of, I think it was Aurel. Yep, it was Aurel, I think. So let's see. Good luck to everyone. Of course, no point loss will be happening here on this track. So let's follow Pack for the first round here. As you can see, the M&M skin just loaded in time. When he joined the server, I had no skin for him. But right now it's looking good. He saves it and releases. But we see the first mistake. Who was that? I think it was Spam, right? Yeah, it was Spam who made a mistake. So Spam is out on this race. He is miles behind. He's 6 seconds behind. So this is not good for the Dutch player. But of course, this is only map number 1. So this is nothing really too much punishing. And the rest of the players survived. So we can't do end round here because this is the live round. So Spam is unfortunately 6 seconds behind. But this is nothing because if you fail this identity, which comes up like right now, you will lose 10 seconds if you're not gonna make that. So it's not a big deal for him. You see, even players with this, it's super random because sometimes when you approach this one, your car gets randomly tilted to the left or to the right. So that's why you should stay centered. Alright, first identity, Massa. Matt is in first. Let's see this. Who's gonna make it? It's Scrappy failing it and some other players. Who was that? Matt, Massa, Scrappy failing it, as well as Marcin. So we lost 4 players already in the first identity. And Spam, you can see him. He's in 12th place already. So Spam, the player who made a mistake, is right now in 12th place. Alright, so everyone survived it. So 11 players left. That's like, we go into every lap, and every lap someone will fail eventually from the 11 players now. So let's see how many players will eventually survive this identity. Aurel right now in first. Behind him is Kappa, and then we see Bren and Riolo. So 0.4 of a second is Riolo behind, but nothing is set in stone, of course, because we have seen that Matt, who's unfortunately now in last place and maybe will go just for the fastest lap, is in hot pursuit. So Riolo's in hot pursuit, not Matt. But everything can happen here, of course, in this jump. As you can see, Riolo is decreasing the gap, but he jumps very far to the right and touches there. So he loses on additional speed and won't get this as smooth as it seems. But Riolo survives it as well as the other players. Let's see who's not gonna make it. I need to have a free cam here for that. But it seems that Spam survives it again. Yes, Scrappy as well as Massa. So it seems that everyone survived it. Oh no, Marcin. Where is Marcin? So Marcin, oh, he's failing it again. So Marcin 25 seconds behind as it seems, as he has to take this alternative line. But oh my god, that was so lucky for him. That was so lucky. Whew. Well, let's focus on that top place again. But Yeah, that was really lucky for him. Glad that I spectated Marcin there. So, really weird. So we see a leader change. Kappa with a very convincing dirt section there and has overspeed over Aurel. So he's 0.3 ahead of him. And just we see half a second behind him. There's Bran. And Riolo's right now battling it out with Cole Jr. Riolo actually jumping so close to the left and almost not making it. I thought from it that he didn't have enough speed. But eventually he had sufficient amount of speed. So next identity is coming up. Who's gonna make it? Ooh, Riolo almost touching the wall. Everyone seems to survive it from the top 5. Roland did not pass it. Revolution passed it. Roland is dropping further behind and goes for that alternative line where you have to do this identity again. So it's do or die for him. Is he gonna make it? Yes, Roland is gonna make it. And Papu. Ooh, what is Papu doing? Where's Papu? Okay, Papu survived. So what a clown fiesta. And Pack actually is dead as well. Oh no, so Pack in 15th place. This is not looking good for the British player, and he's even getting overtaken by Marcin, but Marcin didn't do the identity good as well. So Pack will stay in 15th place. Alright. So Kappa still in first after that convincing dirt section. He accumulated a lead of 0.5 of a second, so that's pretty good. And yeah, you can see the gaps there are so huge. And Spam, who made a mistake in the first lap, is right now in 9th place. So he really capitalized from the mistake from the other players. Ooh. So let's see who's gonna pass that identity. Kappa, yes. Bren, yes. Aurel, yes. Cole Jr., yes. Riolo, yes. Revolution, yes. Coco, no! Coco's failing it. Tween is making it though. And Spam has more speed than Coco. So Spam will eventually move on to P8 now, as it seems. Yep, Spam with a good approach and has more speed than Coco, as it seems for now. But yeah, okay, it's a battle here for that 8th place. I thought for a minute that Spam had a bit more speed, but right now it seems that everyone survived it. No position changes here. Pack approaching the identity now, and Pack is making it, as well as... Oh no, Marcin is not making it. So Marcin has to respawn, and Marcin is definitely... won't have a saying for anything more than the top 16 unless someone else is messing up tremendously and big time. But yeah, Marcin is going for the freestyle approach, and yeah, plus 9 seconds, 46 seconds behind the leader, which is Bran at the moment. So this is this is very, very oh no! Oh no! This is very, very surprisingly, I wanted to say, and then Bran just flipped. So we have a battle here for the 2nd place between Cole Jr. and Kappa. And Aurel is in first right now. And Cole Jr. left the game? Huh? Okay. Oh no, I hope he didn't DC or something. What is happening? Oh my god. So it's Aurel in first and Kappa in second. So I don't know what's happening, but Cole Jr. DNF'd or DC'd. I don't know what happened, but I wouldn't say that Cole Jr. is a player who is yeah, like rage quitting or something like that. So yeah, maybe he got a DC, so this is unfortunate for him. And Marcin is actually now in P15, of course, because Cole Jr. is not on the server anymore. So Aurel is still holding strong that first place. He is 1 second ahead. This was a back and forth on this track, and we can actually see Riolo in 3rd place now after that horrendous mistake from Bran, who actually was first in the prior lap at this part, but right now is only on 5th place. But still, I mean, 5th place is 9 or 10 points, something like that. I think 9 points. So let's see. Aurel. Oh, is he gonna make it? Oh my god, that was so close. So Aurel barely saving it, and there's only one identity remaining. Who's gonna take this map win? Is this Aurel? Is it Aurel or is it Kappa? Who's gonna survive it? Aurel with a good jump. Aurel is gonna make it, and it's Aurel in first, clocking in 100 euro. Kappa in second. Riolo in 3rd, really good for him. Tween in 4th, Bren in 5th place after that horrendous mistake there, but he manages to save it, so he didn't drop further behind. Coco surprisingly in 6th place, Scrappy after the identity fail in 7th, Spam in 8th place. It was super close here between Scrappy, Spam and Massa, as you can see. Everyone in between 0.2 of a second. Then we have Papu in 10th, Matt in 11th, dropping a bit behind. And then Roland finishing just behind Revolution. Pack also finishing. Marcin not finishing. So Marcin not getting any sort of kind of points. And of course Cole Jr. in last. So this is a big mess up for the Canadian. Let's see what he wrote in the chat. Maybe something happened here. So I don't know. Internet fucked. Okay. So he had really a DC. Cole Jr. had the DC. And Riolu must be really happy about this juicy 12 points here for him. Great round call. Yeah, the BM, right? The BM. So, we see Matt. I actually said that. I said Matt is getting the fastest lap because he made the mistake. And Matt just did it. Matt got the fastest lap. So Matt up to 6 points instead of 4. Great performance by the Brazilian. So you can see that what he's capable of doing. Matt, a really, really strong player. But of course, we have the second map coming up now, which is Directionless by MD Point. So if you're not familiar, yeah, fastest lap will grant yourself 2 points. Which identity is some sort of no steer sections, which player will approach now. Let's follow the leader of the current step for now with the name of Aurel. So Aurel with 20 points and 100 euro more on his bank account will approach his identity. You have a no steer block, so if you're steering, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen here, and you need to really align your car in a perfect way in order to make that one. So really cool map, but a lot of things that can go wrong here, because we've seen Aurel in the prior step with a mistake, and therefore Cole Jr. capitalized from that because Cole Jr. made a mistake here on some North Steer section, and therefore granted himself the 8th place and didn't lose his points, because this map was the 5th map in the prior step. Right, so players warming up. Right now it's looking really good for Marcin and Riolu, as it seems. Riolu just behind Scrappy and Bran, and also Marcin, who eventually survived this identity, is in the mix here. But of course, this is only the warm-up, so everything can happen in the live round. And yeah, Peck, I don't know what he did, but hopefully it will be better for him in the live round. But warm-up is over, and we are gonna start with the second map of this evening. Directionless by MD Point, a really cool map. I really like it. And let's follow Peck for the first round. Unfortunately, he got 14th place in the last round, but still 3 points have been accumulated by him. So not the best start for him, but of course it's only 600ths of a second that have been lost for him. Everything important will come now. No one died here, as it seems Ronan fell a bit behind. No one really died. Okay, let's see who will survive this identity. Let's see who's gonna make a mistake. Oh, we see Kappa making a mistake. So Kappa is the first victim. Kappa dropping behind, and also Roland is 0.7 of a second behind the leader, who's right now Spam. So Spam really good for him, but Kappa is the first victim and is 5 seconds behind the leader. So not good for him. Next identity is coming up. Peck in a strong 9th place, but let's see who's gonna fail that one. It's someone failing it. Oh, that was really close for him. Oh, you've seen that? It was like a millimeter for him that he would have died there. Okay, let's see. Cole Jr. right now in first, ahead of Tween and Aurel. So much is happening here. Who's gonna survive this identity? Who's gonna make it? Oh my god. I thought I had the better camera for that. Oh, we see Bran dropping behind. Bran had to go for the alternative line. And it seems that every player survived. Even Kappa made it. But Kappa, unfortunately, is 5 seconds behind. So Marcin, 1.8 seconds behind the leader. Who's Scrappy, who's betting it out. Look at this battle here for that first place. Scrappy, Revolution, Cole Jr. and Tween, all in the mix here. Everyone survives this one here. And also Papu. And look at Peck. Peck in 6th place at the moment. Opts for a very high approach for the dirt. And therefore has more speed than Coco. As well as Peck. Papu, as it seems. So really good jump there from the British player. And right now he moves up to 5th place. So really, really good performance by him. But Riolu comes a bit closer. Goes for a very, very risky line here. And therefore jumped a bit higher at the quarter pipe. And therefore Peck can overtake him again. So Peck really, really strong on this track. He wasn't really, really shining on the other step. I think he was like top 10 or something like that. So not that good. Oh, Pack not doing that good. So he has to go for the alternative line. Oh no. Oh no. This is not good for him. This is definitely not good for him. Oh, the caster's curse is kicking in again. So Pack dropping down to 12th place and is 4 seconds behind Cole Jr. Massa, however, in 2nd place. And then we see Scrappy with a no slide. Gets overtaken by a lot of players. So Tween is now in 3rd. Followed up by Papu, Coco, and Riolu. So Coco actually put some effort into those tracks. Really nice to see that. Coco in 5th place. After that, 6th place on the prior map, which is really good for him. Was it 6th place? Yeah, 6th place for him. But right now, dropping a bit behind. Didn't go for a good trajectory here. But still, I mean, still only 1.2 seconds behind the leader, who is still Cole Jr. So Cole Jr. playing out of his mind on this track. Going into the identity for the 3rd time now. Right, I have to drink something. Stay hydrated, boys. So Cole Jr. jumping very high. Tries to tilt his car very good. Or very, very much. Not like a 90 degree and then bounce. He wants to have this alignment just when he lands there. So that was very good by him. So Cole Jr. increasing his lead. He's now half a second ahead of Massa. Consider Cole Jr. only got 0 points because he got a DC beforehand. But he touches now. Cole Jr. touches and it's Massa in 1st. Oh no. Deja vu for Cole Jr. making a mistake there again, but only a slight mistake. So it's Massa, Mr. 305 in 1st place. Oh no. Hopefully he won't mess up this time. I'm not jinxing. But Cole Jr. is still holding strong. You can see the pace. He's battling it out with Tween and also Riolus in the mix. He won't survive this identity. Papu with a lot of speed though. So this looks really good for the Frenchman. Opts for a little bit different approach here. So he holds strong on that 4th place. Riolu drops a bit behind. And is now 1 second behind the leader, who is still Massa. He actually survived this identity as well. So we see a close fight here, but Cole Jr., Tween, and Papu coming closer towards Massa. So nothing is set here in stone, of course. This is a very close battle here for that top 5 placement. Massa actually with the fastest lap time of 107.84. I would consider this a very fast lap time. Aurel just 700s behind him. And also Papu with a very fast time. I mean, despite Cole Jr. made that mistake, he is still in the mix. But what was this identity part from Riolu? He gathered so much speed. And look at Tween. Tween is coming closer and closer to Massa. And Tween with more speed. So who is gonna take that 1st place? I mean, we have 1 more lap to go. Ooh, Massa went so close there. We can see, I mean, in the meantime, we can see that Pack and Revolution unfortunately dropped behind. And they won't have a saying here. As well as Matt, Roland, and Scrappy. So this is not looking good for all of them. And of course, not for, for Bren, Marcin, and Kappa as well, who find themselves 5+ seconds behind. Alright, into the last lap we go. We have Massa just behind Tween. Tween with a little bit more speed over Massa, so he increases his lead of 0.18 of a second. So Tween with a good performance here. And he actually won a map in the prior step as well. I think it was map 3 or map... Yeah, it was map 3. It was the no-steer section ending map. So he granted himself a lot of knowledge over those no-steer blocks, as it seems. But Massa with a stronger line. Tween is losing it here, and Massa overtaking the lead. So is it Massa? Is it a German player who's gonna grant himself the 100 euro? Or is it Tween? Tween with more speed. So this will be a very, very close battle. Massa drops a bit behind, and it's Tween again. Granting himself the 1st place. Who has more speed here? It seems that Tween has more speed. Massa opts for a little bit more inside line. So let's see who's gonna take this ending. It's do or die for both of them. Who's gonna take it? Is it Tween, the Slovakian powerhouse, playing for Team Pittsburgh Knight? Or is it Massa for Team Berlin International Gaming? Who's gonna take it? Tween with more speed. Tween is gonna take it. Massa even touches and gets overtaken by Aurel. Oh no, Massa from 2nd to 7th place. He gets overtaken by 5 players there in the end. Oh no. Massa jinxes himself there and loses a lot of points. He could have gotten 14 points, but instead he goes out from that map with half of the points and only grants himself 7 points. I mean, he jinxes himself because he was risking too much, even though Tween has the fastest lap and was faster. So, must have pushed it a bit too much there. I don't know. So, Tween in first. 22 points for him, the perfect map. You get 20 points, you get 2 points for the best lap, and 100 euro. And right now, Tween is in second place after a very good performance. And Riolu again in third place. So, Riolu up to 24 points. And then we see Cole Jr. With the unfortunate mistake there. So, only 9 points for him. And yeah, Aurel in second place. So, after a first place and a second place, he is obviously in first place. Because all the other players are, of course, yeah, they can only be equal if they are first and second. So yeah, great round here, as Simo also says. And yeah, really, right now it's not really looking good for Revolution, Marcian, Peck, and the two Oculus players, Scrappy and Roland. They have accumulated only 7 points downwards. So this is not really good for them. But still, we will see what will happen here. This, of course, is the third map. And you don't lose any points here. But I'm curious to see who's gonna win this map. I think Scrappy has the pace here, of course. But Scrappy known to be a risky player. I mean, he had the pace on the prior 2 maps as well. But he made some horrendous mistakes there. I didn't really see a lot of mistakes. But I can imagine that he failed an identity here and there. So he sits there at 7 points. But in the warm-up, of course, he is first. The warm-up Meister. Alright, so Aurel is the leader of this step at the moment. With 34 points. So very good performance by him. Followed up by Tween. And then we have Riolu with 2 third places. So good performance by the German player. But of course, after this map, you can lose your points, and this will be crucial because you don't want to lose 30 plus points. You don't want to lose any points by the means of it. But of course, this will unfortunately happen. Alright, so warm up is over. And the quest is be in the top 16. Let's see who is gonna perform the best here. Is someone falling in the hole? No one is making a mistake here in the start. So this is nice to see. It's Spam, however, in first with a really good line. Someone dropped behind. I think it was it Papu? No, or Code Jr.? Someone dropped behind. But Spam had a really, really good line there. And the meme stream dream team, Spam and Riolu with a really good start here. So first and second place respectively for both of them. Riolu with a very strong dirt section here and grants himself the first place. Spam gets overtaken by some players, but manages to come back strong. So he is still in second place. So very close fight here. Only Roland is the player who's right now 1 second behind, who dropped a bit behind here. And Roland not with the best speed here either. So he is dropping a bit further behind. And we see a mistake here from Peg. Also Peg in P16 here. Not looking good for him. Maybe he just put effort into the last 3 maps. Who knows? Who knows? But this was a way better identity section than beforehand. We see Riolu, however, in first place. Followed up by Papu, Cow Jr. and Scrappy. Everyone 0.2 of a second behind the German player. Oh, but Scrappy with a mistake. Scrappy with a mistake. Risked too much. And therefore gets overtaken by even Peck. And where is Roland? Roland, I think he made a mistake as well. So Scrappy is out on that one. And unfortunately... yeah, I mean, I don't know what's happening. But every time when I spectate someone, he's failing. I don't know what's happening. This is ridiculous, really. But yeah, Papu. Interesting approach for him. Going for the zigzag for the boost. So close battle here. Spam! touching as well. So Spam down to P9. Guys, what can I do? I should stop spectating, really. This spectator curse is really strong here. Papu with a really good identity. As well as Riolo, who's still only 0.3 of a second behind Papu here. So, Papu with a really good section here. But Riolo comes closer. And gets a really, really good transition here. So, he has a little bit more speed than Papu, as it seems. So, Riolo is pushing it. He's pushing it and only 0.29 of a second behind Papu. So, maybe we can see some position changes here in the near future. But Carl Jr. is attacking Riolo in the meantime. Carl Jr. with a really good section there. Riolo goes so far in the inside of the dirt turn here. But therefore, yeah, not really increases or like decreases the gap to Carl Jr. He gets overtaken by him even. So Riolo in third now. Papu in first still. And then we have, of course, some players who failed here. As you can see, Bran 2.5 seconds behind. Kappa 2.5 seconds behind. Matt more than 3 seconds behind. Peck 4 seconds behind. Scrappy 6 seconds behind. And then Roland, of course, in a dead last. But of course, with a good identity, he can catch up to the other Oculus players by the name of Scrappy. But let's focus here on this battle for the first place. Riolo dropped a bit behind, and Marcin with a mistake. I didn't spectate him, but Marcin manages to save himself and is still in the mix. But of course, he gets overtaken by some players, but still on P9 for him. So he will be definitely happy about that after only 5 points from the last 2 maps, because he didn't finish up and down. He didn't finish this track, but still in 9th place. Only 2 seconds behind the leader, who is still Papu, but Carl Jr. comes a bit closer, and also Massa is in the mix. So maybe Massa wants to have a saying for that 100 euro. But so far it's looking good for Papu, that he is gonna grant himself 100 euro in his pocket. So wouldn't be the first 100 euro for him. He got 100 euro on Bolide, Snake, and I think one other map, but I don't know which map. But so far it's looking good. But Carl Jr. with a really strong line and comes closer to him. So good line by him. But look at Massa. Look at Massa. Oh, I thought for me that Massa had more speed than him. Oh, but Carl Jr. dropping behind, and it's Carl Jr. actually hitting the CP. So he gets overtaken by multiple players. So Carl Jr. down to P10 only. Not looking good for the Canadian as we go into the second last lap. Oh, Carl Jr. actually clipping it here and loses on additional speed. So he gets even overtaken by Matt. However, Carl Jr. opts for a very more inside approach. So he is safe for now. Safe from Matt. But not safe from not getting a lot of points though. So Papu, the leader of this race at the moment. Does this third section really good. Massa still in second. Spam just behind. And then we have a battle for the third place between Spam and Riolo. So nice to see that. Aurel, who is the leader of this step, in 5th place, gets overtaken by Marcin, who has a little bit more speed than him. So Marcin also with a good performance though, but unfortunately made some mistakes here on the second track. But a 5th place here for him would be good after that 1000 overtake of Kappa in the last split second. Marcin eventually lost his points here. Aurel with a good identity, as well as Marcin and all the other players. And we go into the last lap. It's still Papu in 1st place. Followed up by Massa, who's 0.47 of a second behind. So Massa would actually be happy about 100 euro, but he also needs points. So 14 points for him would just serve the purpose. But of course he needs to save those points. But look at this battle here for that 3rd place. Riolo dropped a bit behind though. And it's Spam going for the attack on Massa. The 3 streamers, the 3 English-speaking streamers here, all in between half a second. And it's still Papu in first, so Papu is getting pressured. He knows that all of the 3 players are in hot pursuit. But let's see who's gonna take it. Is it the German player for Team Berlin International Gaming? Is it Spam, the Dutch player? Or is it Riolo, who can make some damage? I mean, he's also German, but saying German twice would be weird, right? Okay, I'm just kidding. So, who's gonna take it? Riolo with the attack though. Papu goes for the right side approach. Interesting to see that. Oh, who's gonna take it? Okay, Papu goes for the early grip here, as you can see, for the early alignment. So Papu in first, Massa in second. Riolo overtakes Spam, and Spam drops further behind. So Spam from P3 to P6. Marcin in fourth, Aurel in fifth place. Tween in eighth, Coco in seventh here. And then we have Scrappy Kappa finishing in last. Peck only in 13th place. So, Riolu finishing in third again. I can see a pattern. I can see a pattern here, guys. What do you think? The fastest lap was from Scrappy, so he will grant himself 2 additional points, which is good for him. So he will go on to 11 points. Spam with 8 points, though. I mean, it's not too bad. He's in 6th place, but he could have gotten way more points than that. So the total standing now, we have a break here of, I think, 4 or 5 minutes. Aurel in first with 43 points, so not too much actually. Tween in second after only getting 8th place here and only 5 points though. No, 4 points. Oh no, 6 points you get for 8, right? Yeah, 6. You get 6 points for 8, yeah. Broke back. Then we have Papu, Massa, Spam, Coco, nice to see him. Bran, Kappa, Marcin. Carl Jr. only on 12th place. Wow. What is happening? Boys, what is happening? Carl Jr. only on 12th place, so this is not looking good for the Canadian. All right. Let's see. Is nope. So, Pack is unfortunately not on Discord. But let's do some talk here. As we can see, the league ranking, it would completely change now. As we can see, Spam moving up, Massa moving up, Pack dropping down. You can see that. So Carl Jr. still in first. Riolo would be happy about those 36 points to take them into the safe house. But of course we have 3 more maps to go. We have map 4 coming up now. And of course now the thing is, you can lose your points. You can lose your points. If you're not in the top 8 now, you will lose all your points that you have accumulated beforehand. So this will be interesting. I see Carl Jr. in... This is so weird to see. Carl Jr. is in 12th place. And he has only 13 points. I've never seen that. So Carl Jr. off to a very, very bad start here for this step. But let's see. But only from the current step, right? What do you mean? Those points here. This is the points added up with them. So this would be the point system when no one would lose their points, like right now. Like when this will apply to the points. Nah, and you don't lose your points from the previous step. Only the points that you have accumulated today. Oh, this would be cruel. Holy moly. You can only lose the points that you have accumulated here. So, for example, if Aurel gets 9th now, what I don't hope, he is losing 43 points. But he's getting the points that he has gotten from that 9th place. So he would get 5 points. You will see that in the end. All right. So we have 2.5 more minutes, or like 3 more minutes until we will start. Go Turbo. Hello, Knock. Yeah, all is good. All good here on my side. Hopefully you're all feeling good as well. But I hope everything will be good for the players. Because you have the 4th, 5th, and 6th map coming up now. The thing is, what will happen now, if you get 9th place, you will lose all your points. Yeah, Eurolo was 3 times 3rd. If you have any questions concerning anything here, unfortunately I'm not able to speak to Peck because he said to me that when he will open his Discord, his game will like freeze a bit. So that's why I'm only able to speak to Peck after this step. So 1.5 minutes left. You have a map here by Firestorm. We can actually introduce this map. You have a speed check here. You have to go for a very early drift, as you can see here, in order to make this jump. This jump is very, very hard to do, if you ask me. You need to squeeze your car just in between here. And then you have a full speed section here. And that full speed section, it will end when you're drifting, auto drifting on this time, on this banking section, or like on that slope. I would say slope. It's sloping section, and then you have this slope here as well. And then you need to get a perfect alignment on this thing here. This will be so hard because if you don't do it, you will hit this block here, or you're about to hit this block, so you need to release. So this will be very, very hard to do, and as well as this part. And we didn't even reach the identity yet. The identity is this bad boy here. A jump, a dirt jump. You can see 1, 2, 3 consecutive dirt jumps. This will be very, very interesting. Do you know which players are playing with keyboard? Which will say it's 5 players. It is Tween, Kappa, Matt, Revolution, and Marson, I think. So for the 4, I'm 100% sure that they are playing with keyboard. But the warm-up is starting now, and it will go now. So, be in the top 8 is the quest here for the players. If you're not able to make it to the top 8, you will lose all the points that you have accumulated beforehand. So let's see what will happen here. Everyone seems to survive it. No mistake. Roland drops a bit behind, so let's follow him. He gives us a very good overview, but right now he's in dead last. He's in dead last place at the moment. The Austrian player. The Orculus Austrian player, but oh, I think he barely has enough speed. Oh, that was pretty close for him. So only barely making that jump. Let's go a bit further. Here it's Peck in 8th position. So that's really good for him. And we see Papu, Spam, and also Riolu being in the front places again. So very good performance here for all of them. Making that first narrow section here. And we see Roland dropping further behind. Look at him. So Roland is dead on this track. Roland failed this one. He is more than 10 seconds behind. But let's see this identity. Let's go with Tween. We see Peck there as well. Oh, Tween jumps so close here. Oh my god, I thought for a minute that he hit it. Oh, it's... Who was that? It was Peck touching it. But he manages to survive it. And also Marson, not with a lot of speed. Both are barely able to make that jump. So... yeah, so this is not looking too good for the UK player. Oh man, I should have slept more than that. But yeah, we see Spam and Papu being in the front, as well as Massa and Carl Jr. So a very close battle here for that first place. We see a margin of 1 second from 8th to first place going into lap 2. So this is not too much. But you can see it's really stacked here up there. Tween and Brand dropped a bit further behind, but Tween with a good section here. So good for the Slovakian player. And it's nothing lost here for all of the other players. We still have Aurel, Peck, and Kappa in our pursuit. Aurel is about to lose 43 points, so he's further behind. So it would be a shame, but Peck with a mistake. Oh, but just before that section, so he didn't lose too much. Fortunate stuff for him. Kappa jumps very far to the right. Is he able to make that jump? No, he's not. Oh, this is not looking good for him. So Kappa had to go for that safe approach and drops multiple positions behind. He's 2.7 seconds behind and gets overtaken by Marcin and Aurel, and as well as Peck. Papu still in first, followed up by Spam. Then we have Massa and Riolo, so the German squad rocking strong here. Revolution, however, is 7 seconds behind, and Roland 25 seconds, so I think he just lost it on this track. Unfortunate stuff for him, or he just didn't practice it, I don't know. But too bad to see that, but I know for a fact that Roland had exams and couldn't play too much, so maybe he's just going for the last map. Who knows, but we see Aurel dropping behind. Aurel had to go for the safe route because he didn't make it, and Aurel is about to lose 43 points. He's 8 seconds behind Cole Jr. Oh, no way. No way for him. As well as Coco, who's 5.5 seconds behind the safe spot here. The times here, as you can see downwards, is the interval to the 8th position. And the times from the top 8 is the interval to the 1st position. So just a little reminder for you guys. But this will be crucial for Aurel and also for Coco. Aurel with 43 points after a very, very convincing first and second lap. Even winning the first map, he's now about to lose his points. He really needs to rely on mistakes. We see Marcin dropping a bit behind, gets overtaken by Bren and Peck. So Peck up to 8th place and is right now in the safe spot. But Bren, who wants to have a saying as well, has accumulated 19 points. Wants to keep his points as well. So, let's see what will happen here. Who's gonna pass it? Papu is passing it. Spam as well. Massa as well. Scrappy, yes. Cole Jr., Riolo, Tween, Peck. Everyone is making it, as well as Bren and Marcin. Marcin, even though he didn't get it good, he dropped a bit behind. So he's 0.8 of a second behind Peck. Ooh, Peck actually not with the best section. Gets overtaken by Bren here. So really close battle here for that 8th place. So let's see, what is Peck doing here? He's actually on a good lap, but right now it's not looking good for him. Going into the identity for the 4th time now. We have 2 more laps remaining after that. So Papu still in first, survives it. Massa as well as Spam. So let's see, Scrappy with a very good performance here. Nice to see him after only 11 points for him on the prior 3 maps. He will be very happy about this, but Tween dropping behind as well, and we see a lot of position changes, as you can see here. So Tween down to PE10, and he is also about to lose his points. So Tween and Aurel, the leaders of the step here, are about to lose their points. This is unbelievable again. Oh, no way, man. This is no way. Oh, man, but we see Spam 1 second behind. Papu 1.5 seconds behind Papu, so Papu playing it out of his mind. So he will maybe grant himself 20 points and maybe even the fastest lap time. Who knows? Who knows who has the fastest lap time? But from this perspective, it seems that Papu has it, because he has accumulated a lead of 1.5 seconds already. We see Cole Jr. dropping behind. Scrappy overtakes him. Riolo in a safe 6th position. But what is this battle for that 8th place? We see Marcin overtakes Peck there in that section. So this is really, really good for him. For Marcin, of course. But let's see what Peck is doing in that section. Peck, with a little bit more speed, opts for a different line. I thought from him that he had slightly more speed, but he doesn't have that. Is he able to make that jump? Yes, he is, but Marcin isn't. And Marcin gets overtaken by Matt, Tween, and maybe some other players here. Let's see, but no, Kappa is too far behind. So Marcin down to P11, approaching the last lap now. So unfortunate stuff there for the Polish player. Oh man, you hate to see that. So Peck is about to save his points. Riolo, however, dropped a bit behind. And as well as Massa, who went from 2nd to 4th place and is just behind Scrappy, the Oculus player, and the Diffuse Kids player with the name of Spam. So everyone survives it here. Yes, looking good. Bren gets overtaken by Peck. Bren, however, with a better line and has slightly more speed. And I know for a fact you've seen that Peck really struggled with that section. He goes for a rather safe approach So let's see who's gonna take that 6th place here. Pack not with a lot of speed. Bren with overspeed and overtakes Riolu and Pack here. Ooh, goes slow coast to the barrier here. So let's see who's gonna take that 2nd place. It's safe to say that Papou is gonna take that 1st place if he's gonna survive this one. It's looking really good for the Frenchman, and he will be really, really happy about that. So Papou is able to grant himself 100 euro and 20 points. So GG's to him. Scrappy gets overtaken by Spam there in the end. So Spam in 2nd place, Scrappy in 3rd, Massa in 4th, Carl Jr. in 5th, Pack in 6th place, overtaking Bren there, Riolu in 8th place, Marcin losing his points, as well as Matt, Kappa, and Tween, and as well as Aurel. So 43 and 38 points have been lost in this round. So not good for them. So, oh man, you hate to see that. 43 and 38 points. 1st and 2nd places lost their points. Man. As well as all the other players. So 21 points lost for Coco, 19 for Kappa, 14 for Matt, and 15 for Marcin. So you hate to see that. Roland not able to finish, so he loses all his points and doesn't get any points on that map. But let's see what will happen on map 5. We have a new leader, Papou, 57 points, granted himself the perfect map with 22 points because he got the fastest lap as well, and as well as the 100 euro that you get when you win a map. So great job by him. Riolu moves up to 2nd place after that mistakes from both Tween and Aurel. So Riolu will definitely be happy about this. Alright, so next map we have Just Kidding. Not just kidding, but just skidding. But you can also say just kidding because this identity is very hard. You think, yo, this is just a normal full speed block. So if you approach this block here, I'll show you. If you approach this block here, you can't brake again. You can't brake. You can't brake. Your car will just accelerate. And you can see you have two 90 degrees corners coming up here and an S turn coming up here. So this will be super interesting to watch. And yeah, let's see who will who put the most effort into that map. I played this map on my own. I was like, yo, this is easy peasy. But it is super hard to do. It is really hard to do. So you can see the approach here, different approaches here. Diagonal for Scrappy and Kappa, and you see Scrappy failing it. And you can't adjust your line. You need to intendedly go for a gear down in order to not be too fast. So this will be a clown fiesta, boys. This will be a super clown fiesta. Alright. So warm-up is over. Spam is jumping into Narnia. Alright. So has that where he stays in upper gear, apparently. It seems like that, yeah, but I think that's pretty hard to do, actually. That's pretty hard to do. But map number 5 is starting. We have Papou with 57 points. It's a really, really good performance by him. So hopefully he is not putting too much pressure on him, because I know for a fact that he has the pace. We see the first crucial part coming up. We have Roland already being behind, so maybe Roland didn't train a lot. We have this part here. No one is failing it. You have to squeeze your car just between the triangle and the CP. So this is really hard to do. The triangle CP, let's say like that. Matt with a mistake. Matt going too far up and... Hello? Revolution? I think Revolution has a DC. We lost someone. So Matt in P14 just ahead of Roland in the Revolution. So both of them unfortunately not feeling it, but Revolution has a DC, so maybe he will come back and be on the track. So maybe the ghost is just bugged. We will see. So right now, going into lap number 2, we have Kappa in first. Kappa in first, followed up by Bren and Scrappy. And we see Spam in 11th place, but he's only 0.5 of a second behind. He gives us a very good overview. We see also Pack here, who manages to secure his points, or who managed to secure his point on the prior map. No one with a mistake here. It's so hard to do, but Kappa, just saying that, Kappa made the mistake. And if you make a mistake, you see how slow you are. Marcin and Kappa made that mistake, and they are dead. They are just dead. And also Massa. Oh, both of the players with 36 points, Spam and Massa, are in the red places. They are just dead. So, not good for them. Massa, however, with more speed. But, of course, we're coming up to this section now. Let's see. Who is gonna fail it? Peg with a mistake. Oh, no. Peg with a mistake. And he had to respawn all the way back to the CP. Because you just accelerated. You can't do anything. And Peg down to P12. Oh, no way. P12 for Peg. And he's 5 seconds behind. And also Matt with a mistake. So, oh, so many mistakes have been done here from all the players. So Peg about to lose his 17 points. And Tween, who lost his points on the prior map, is now up to 2nd place. So close battle here for Bren and Tween. We see Tween with a Cam 3. I don't know why this is happening right now, but that looked interesting though. So Tween battling it out with Bren, who's surprisingly in first, I would say. Didn't really see him in first place on this track, because you need to know that Bren is right now in Australia and he plays at 5 in the morning or something like that. So Bren off to a very, very good start here, approaching this identity for the 3rd time now. Tween comes a bit closer, but of course we have this full speed identity coming up now. See Riolu approaching it very good, goes for the gear down, for the intended gear down, and therefore stays on the track. Oh, Scrappy with a wonky approach, but still holding strong in that 4th place. Spam comes a bit closer to him, has a bit more speed than him. And we can actually see Riolu being ahead of Cole Jr. and Massa, so all of them are able to keep their points. Yes, Simo, you can YOLO it, especially the S turn, but it's very, very hard to do, of course. But, oh, Massa with a mistake here again, so he will lose some speed, and Coco will come closer, but Massa! Oh, what are you doing, Massa? No way! You should know that this block is like that. Oh, no, you hate to see that. Oh, no, Massa loses on so much time. 6.5 seconds behind now. Oh, no. So, Peck, only 3.5 seconds for him. One mistake. And he is in the safe zone again. So, 36 points for Massa. Flush down the toilet. Unless all of the players will make a mistake. A miracle has to happen here. And we see here. Oh, no. Bren? Oh. Okay, Bren is down to 7th place. I thought for a minute that he dropped further behind. So Bren made an error. And it's Tween again in first. So Tween has won a map already. And Tween is right now being strong, but he gets overtaken by Papu. So a really nice fight here for that first place here. And it's so bad to see that Massa made that mistake again. So let's see. Tween and Papu are battling it out here for the first wave. Both go for the inside triangle. Papu goes so close with his right back tire to that triangle. But eventually saved it here. Different approaches here about that section. Papu with more speed goes so close to that freewheel block there. You have a little bit of a limitation for the block, because otherwise you could have skipped it. We see different approaches here. Papu goes outside, Tween inside. Papu with more speed. But of course this part is coming up now. It's a fight here for that first place. Who is gonna survive it? Tween with a little bit of a bump, but still holds himself on the track. So it's change here in the first place. So, oh, Papu with a very good section here. And with a very fast lap again. So can he make it 3 first places in a row? You can see here, he was 10th, 4th, 1st and 1st. So very good performance by him. And also Tween, who won the second map, is in a hot pursuit. Going into the last lap now. We see no position changes here. It's Riolu, Spam, Cole Jr., Bren, all manages to save their points. But we see Pack dropping behind. So Pack in 14th place. So this is not good So Pack is dead and will definitely lose his points. So Scrappy is safe on 8th place, but Matt is 1 second behind. So Matt in a hot pursuit, but let's focus on this battle here. Papu is playing out of his mind. I can just say that. Third first place in a row. That would be insanely good for him. But Tween with the overspeed. Let's see who's gonna take it. Who's gonna risk it here in the end. Last identity is coming up now. Is it Tween? Is it the Slovakian? Or is it Papu? Who's gonna survive it? Oh, Tween with the risk. And Tween is dying and gets overtaken by Matt. So Tween went for the map win and gets overtaken by Matt here. Tween down to P9. Papu wins. Carl Jr. in second. Spam in third. Riolu in fourth. Bren in fifth place. Coco in sixth. Scrappy in seventh. And Matt didn't lose his 5 points. And Tween down to P9. Oh, you hate to see that. So Tween not able to grant himself the 14 points that he would have gotten for that second place. He wanted to risk it there for the biscuit for that first place. But it's Papu winning here and granting himself the third map win in a row. So great job here from Papu. 77 points going into the last map. So Matt with the fastest time. Granted himself 8 points. So he's up to 13 points. But this is... Oh, you hate to see that with Tween and also with Massa. Oh, man. Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, he had to risk it here. Yeah, I mean, he had 3 points, but he could have accumulated more points than that. LuckersTurbo, please show the fight for the 8th live instead of just looking at the people who are standing behind the finish line. I did that. I focus on my battle, but okay. Maybe I should keep more track onto that. But we have the last map coming up. We have the survivors. Papu, Riolu, Spam, Carl Jr. After a very wonky first 3 maps, he is with a 5th and 2nd place off to go into the last map. So, let's see what he can do. We have a very, very difficult map coming up here again. Contest diving. And this map is called diving not because you have to go into the water, but you can eventually, yeah, go into the water. Because you can see here, identities coming up in some minutes. Anyone betting on the total number of total bugs in this map? I don't think so, actually. What do you mean with bugs? You mean the bug here with the wallbang, or what bugs? So, this is the last map and it's a really hard map. I mean, it's easier because you don't have those speed checks. But you have this identity coming up now. You can see it here. Look at this identity. Look at this. You have to bug slide here. And you can actually see players failing here. I think it was Scrappy. But yeah. And if this is not enough, you have this part here. Where you can have to squeeze your car just into that middle section. And then you have the lap counter. So, last map, contest diving by Nadeo Lab and Firestorm. Let's see, being the top 8 is the quest. We see Spam in 3rd place, Riolu in 2nd, points-wise, and Papu with a tremendously good performance on 1st place. So, good performance here from Papu, playing for Team Gamers Origin. So, very, very good performance by him. Oh, let's see. Revolution is right now in last place. Didn't get the best start. Brandon with a different approach and therefore has not a lot of speed. But Revolution comes back stronger. So let's see. Right now we see Riolu in first. Actually accumulated a lead of 0.10 of a second already. So let's see. Is the camera on the identity? Yes, it is. So Riolu right now in first. Scrappy opts for a little bit more inside approach and therefore, yeah, doesn't have a lot of speed. But Riolu's line wasn't as good. Wasn't perfect enough to get a bit closer to him. So we see different strategies here. We saw a wallbang and you saw a drift. A wallbang can save you up to 0.2 of a second, and the drift, yeah, is just safer. Okay, identity coming up. Let's see. Who's gonna survive it? Oh, who's gonna take a bath? I think one player dropped behind. It was Massa and Scrappy. No way. Scrappy dropped behind. And Scrappy is now betting it out for the last place with Massa. Oh, no way. You hate to see that. And it's also Papu, who is 0.5 of a second behind. Right now, not in the green position. But everything can happen, of course. So, Peck in second. Bren in first. And Matt in third. And then we can see Riolu, who drops to 10th place. But only 0.1 of a second behind the 8th place, who is right now Aurel. So let's see what he can do. Peck with a very, very good first lap, as it seems. So this is nice to see. You see all the players who have accumulated a lot of points are down. You see Cow Jr. 36 points, P13. Scrappy 30 points, P14. But of course, we have a lot more identities to go. And we have a lot of crucial sections to go for. We see Matt with a wallbang, and this is the risk that you take. When you do that wallbang, you are actually taking the risk that you're losing it all. And Matt loses some positions with that. Drops down to P12, and let's see the box slide. What will happen here? Bren, Peck. Who's gonna make it? Oh, it seems that everyone survives it. Barely surviving it. Only Tween dropping a bit behind, though. But it looked really good there from my perspective that everyone survived it. Okay, no one is taking a bath. Matt's so close. In Trackmania Nations, you would have gotten that bug. So that is really good. So far, it's Scrappy. 7 seconds behind. So I think he won't have a saying. He is on P13 and is so far behind. But the battle for the P8 for all of the 12 remaining players who didn't do a mistake yet is hot. This is really hot. We see Riolu right now in 9th place. And Peck again. Peck is in 3rd place. So maybe he can actually go for that victory. Let's see. So Peck off to a really, really good first 2 laps here. Going to that full speedish section again. Where you have a roll right. Oh, Peck goes so close to the wall here. So very, very close stuff here for him. Alright. So different approaches here. Bren goes for the wall bang. All the other players didn't go for it. So it's safe to say that the players just want to save their points. But the madman by the name of Bren is not doing so. So let's see another box slide. Let's see who is gonna survive it. It's Bren approaching it first, of course. And then we see all the other players who is gonna survive it. And who's that? Carl Jr.! No way! Carl Jr. didn't survive it. Carl Jr. is swimming again. Oh, no way. Carl Jr. is in last. Oof. Oh my god. No way. So Carl Jr. is dead. He died twice. And he's 17 seconds behind the 8th place, which is right now Coco. And also Riolu dropped a bit behind again. So he's a little bit of a wonky section here. So Riolu only in 10th place. Not looking good for him so far. But of course we have 3 more identities to be passed. So Peck actually... Oh no, he was in first, but right now dropped a bit behind. So Peck gets overtaken by all of the players. So from first to 8th place in a blink of an eye in 1 CP, as you can say. So this is a really back and forth here. So Scrappy is about to lose his points. What about Spam? The pressure is on Spam. Spam, of course, he is in the league ranking. As you can see, he's only at 7th place right now. I mean, he has only accumulated 18 points so far. So he really needs those points. Hopefully I don't curse him. And only also Revolution, who had 0 points beforehand. Oh, that was really good by Spam. Look at that. Who only had accumulated 0 points in this step. Needs to push it. Revolution needs to push it. And right now it's looking really good here. We see Marcin battling it out with Riolu. Riolu gets overtaken and right now it's in P11. And Peck with a mistake. Peck with a mistake. So Peck is out on this battle as well. Peck down to P11. He was first 1 lap again. And now he's down. He's down to P11. And let's focus on this battle here for the 8th place. It's still Revolution holding strong on that 1st place. Marcin with a mistake. So Riolu is able to pass him. It's 52 points on stake for him. Which is a lot. As you can imagine. 52 points is a lot for him. And he will actually get closer to Cole Jr., who's still in last. So Riolu could grant himself 60 points on this step, if not even more, if he can rely on mistakes from other players, but it's still Revolution in that first place, but he gets overtaken. I think it was a no slide from him. So Revolution drops a bit down. He's still in P6 as it seems. No, P6. But look how close that is. Look how close that is here for that first place battle. It's nothing decided here yet, but we see one player dropping behind. Who was that? It was Matt dropping behind. And let's see this identity again for the second last time here. It's Brand approaching it first, still in first place. Ooh, everyone seems to survive it. No one is making a mistake, but Pack. Oh no, Pack is not feeling this map. So Pack down again into P13 as it seems, and almost taking a bath again. So, Revolution going into the last lap of this evening. Revolution is still in first place, followed up by Spam. Then we have Tween, Marcin, Papu, Bran, Riolu, and also Matt, who can secure his points. But Coco is just behind him, and Coco is also about to lose 12 points when he's not gonna make it. Coco, however, not with the best amount of speed. So Matt is secure for now. But of course, we have all the difficult parts coming up here. We will start, but Coco making an additional mistake, and this is really good for Matt, as it seems. So Matt is only 1.5 seconds behind, but of course he needs to survive everything. What will happen here? So Riolu, ooh, tripping a bit behind, and didn't have the best speed outcome from that. I thought for a minute that he was a bit further ahead, but he wasn't. So Matt actually overtakes Riolu here in that section. So let's see who's gonna survive it. It's Revolution, the leader of the race. Hopefully he will survive that one. Let's go into the free cam once again. Last time we go into this free cam. Revolution is approaching it and does it perfectly fine, as well as Spam. Oh, someone was falling down, right? Was it someone falling down? Okay, no way. Okay, no one fell down. Alright, so Revolution is taking first place. Tween in second. Brent in third. Marcin had to respawn, and it's Coco. Actually, oh, Coco secures his points, and Marcin drops down to 11th place. So Spam finally able to grant himself 40 plus points. He grants himself 58 points in this step, so very good for him. As well as for Riolu, who got 7th place in this one here as well. So Revo in first. Matt in 6th place after a very, very convincing end for him. He really came closer to the leader, and Pack, unfortunately, in 14th place. And Cole Jr. losing his points for the second time, or for the third time, quote unquote. So Cole Jr. not feeling it, as well as Scrappy. So those are the losers from this evening, ladies and gentlemen, as well as Aurel. And yeah, Tween. Where's Tween? Ah, yeah, Tween was second. Yeah, I forgot that. So Tween, after a point loss, granted himself 19 points. But look at this step from Papu. Papu up to 142 points. Riolu coming closer to Cole Jr. though. And it's right now position change. We see Spam up to 6th place. Scrappy down to 5th place. After that tremendously good performance by Papu. And we can also see Revolution, who granted himself 27 points. So really, really good for him. So I think the winner of this step, of course, is Papu. And also Riolu played out of his mind. But it's really sad to see that Scrappy died again, as well as Aurel and Kappa, as well as Cole Jr., who had a good performance. So this is not good for him. That Kobe Bryant died today? Oh no, I didn't know that. Is that really true or what? Oh man. Oh wow. But, guys, thanks a lot. Oh my god, I got a cheer. Holy moly. Thanks a lot, Racer94, for your 111 bits cheer. Thanks a lot. And thanks everyone for watching. Was a fun cast today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Was a bit wonky though, but I think I did pretty good. And yeah, next week I will cast as well. If you like what you've seen, feel free to leave a follow. And feel free to, yeah, just join next